This is wild. NHL Insider Frank Seravalli, as well as others, have dropped an insane Calgary Flames report that doesn't exactly have fans thrilled. There's no denying the Flames need to make some sort of move. It just depends on if they want to make one to get better now or for the future. We're going to get into all that more in this video, but first I want to welcome you to Flames Digest. I'm Mark Griffith. If you're new around here and you love the Flames, make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the latest news, updates, reports, and rumors revolving around your Calgary Flames. We would love to welcome you to the Flames Digest family. Let's hop in and talk about how the Flames apparently need to just let it play and are going to let it play and maybe not make a move right away. And a lot of fans want, the Flames to not only tank, but make a move that really solidifies the tank trade away at least one of the kind of valuable veterans that the Flames do have. Now, Frank Seravalli, he was talking this morning, so he says that general manager Craig Conroy is going to give the Flames some time to play their way out of this skid. That doesn't have fans thrilled. But teams are patiently waiting to engage on Rasmus Andersson and Nazem Kadri. So what Seravalli is saying is the Flames are just going to play it out for a bit here. When the time is ready, teams will be interested in Andersson and Kadri. Now, there have been conflicting reports from different people. One person who I think fans will probably listen to the most, whether you love him or hate him, is Elliotte Friedman. And he said something kind of similar to what Seravalli is saying. He said more so, the Flames are going to let, specifically with Kadri here, the Flames are just going to let Kadri play it out, get to game 1,000, and then kind of assess from there from both the Flames standpoint and Kadri's standpoint, which is so, the Craig Conroy way, which a lot of people, again, don't love. More people would like to see the team kind of do something sooner rather than later instead of being kind of in this eternal, turmoil, despair, just being miserable that Flames fans have been. They'd rather, the team act and do something. But either way, if the Flames do play it out, and I'll have a different report a little bit later in this video, but if they do play it out, we have a wonderful article here from the Win column. I don't know exactly who wrote it, but what they write is the Flames are reportedly going to use the next 2 to 3 weeks to determine whether or not to throw in the towel on this season. Here's what the next few weeks look like. I'm not going to go over the whole article, but it honestly is a really good article if you want to read the whole thing. It really does go over the entire 2-3 weeks, kind of what the Flames could do if they're either, back in the race again or completely ready to tank and throw in the towel. And you'd assume throw in the towel means not only, accept that we're not that great, but maybe trade away some guys. But let's hop into part of it. So the Calgary Flames have gotten off to a rough start this season, and eyes across the league are on the team right now. From multiple comments from Elliotte Friedman on both the 32 Thoughts podcast and the Morning Cup of Hockey, to Kevin Bieksa publicly calling out Sharky on Hockey Night in Canada, the team has really struggled to keep the energy around the organization calm, and that is 100% true. Now, 8 games into the year, the team is entering a pivotal few weeks with the outcome of this stretch dictating the way they act over this season, next season, and potentially beyond. Both Pat Steinberg and Frank Seravalli on Flames Talk talked about how Craig Conroy and the team will be watching the outcomes on the ice to determine how they act, and again, that's for, the near future here. Here's what it means. So, while the standing positions don't look too bad, the Flames have a game nearly every other night and a road back-to-back in the Eastern Conference in there. So this is over the next 2-3 weeks. I don't have a screen cap of what that looks like. It was just too big, but it kind of explains it here. So looking at the list, if you pencil in the 2 games against the Jets as losses and the 2 games against the Sharks and Sens as wins, I don't know when those became free wins, but either way, it's hard to see the Flames really grinding out a ton of wins throughout this stretch. A lot has to go right for them to outduel a goalie like Shesterkin or shut down players like Matthews, Kaprizov, and Connor Bedard. The challenge for the Flames is not only do they have to perform well through this stretch, but if they are to fight back to be a contender, they need to win 60 to 65% of these games. Not only these games, but kind of the rest of the season, if not a higher percentage. So given how they started, even going 50-50 all the way down the stretch will not move the needle. That's a tall order. And we know that from last year. We were above that kind of 50-50 threshold after a great start, and still we didn't make the playoffs. So to go 65% through this stretch, they need to win 8 of 12 games. Assuming the schedule for those weeks remains, the Flames need to win 6 of their 8 games against the Rangers, Leafs, Preds, Flyers, Blue Jackets, Blackhawks, Wild, and Blues. Stranger things have happened, but it's hard to see them only losing 2. That is, a somewhat difficult little string of games there. I mean, you look at the standings right now, the Flames are literally at the bottom. The Sharks are above the Flames. The Flames are in last place in the league, so essentially every matchup there might not be favored in. Now, what if the Flames losing streak continues? This is, the key talking point for not only the Flames media right now, but I think for Flames fans in general as well. So on Flames Talk, Pat Steinberg talked about the team potentially throwing in the towel on the season if things don't turn around through this stretch. Friedman cautioned that the Flames are worried about how their veteran players would take this news if they did decide to take a run at a high draft pick this season. Something has to break here. If they do keep losing, the Flames will likely look to move some of their veterans, as we know, as I think at this point a majority of the fan base would like the team to do. Now, Andersson is likely at the top of the list of players to be dealt if the Flames struggles continue. Coleman is not far behind as well. The Flames will also likely try to dangle Kadri's name out there, but with a modified no trade clause, he has some control over where he goes. I'm pretty certain, and you can correct me in the comments, I'm pretty sure Kadri's no trade clause or no movement clause was actually modified before the season started to just a 13-team no move clause. So that still leaves, a good almost 20 teams left in there that he could potentially get shipped out to. I believe about 18 teams or so. So again, I know Conroy's going to be in contact with Kadri throughout the whole thing, but it's not, a 25 team list. Now, the team also has Joel Hanley, Braden Pahal, and Jake Bean, whom they can look to move. Not that they'd be worth all that much. Given how they have played, moving Sharky and Miramanov is unlikely. While Miro's now in the AHL, as we know, he's not going to go for literally anything. Sharky, I'm sure he won't go for much either. But they have been very poor to start the year, as we know. Now, that's kind of the whole article that I was kind of going to show. Like I said, there have been conflicting reports, and, contrary to what Seravalli said and even what Friedman said, is Pierre LeBrun actually came out with this. So he said general manager Craig Conroy isn't sitting on his hands. He is making calls and exploring the trade market, trying to find out what exactly is available that can potentially help his team offensively. So not only is this saying, Conroy's just going to let it play for the next couple weeks here, he's saying he's trying to call around to make the team better now so they can salvage the season and make the playoffs, which is nuts. I think that's another thing that Flames fans aren't exactly thrilled about. I know each Flames fan has a different opinion on what the team should do, but let's just say if it's a Venn diagram, the, majority of the fan base is kind of in the middle section that crosses between we would like to see the Flames make a move now, and we want it to be, shipping someone out, not moving someone in. So overall, it's, interesting that we're getting kind of, I guess, overall conflicting reports. No matter what, I think the Flames will let it play for the next couple of weeks here and then decide what they will do. But if Conroy's really, going to ship away future assets to gain something back now, Flames fans might be calling for his head. That's all I'm going to say there. But there you go. That's kind of what's been going on. Now, let's get into tonight's game, as the Flames do have trying to break the losing streak, of course. They have been playing better lately, but another tough one here tonight in Winnipeg, playing against the Jets. This one goes at 6 p.m. Calgary time, same time as the Blue Jays game, of course, so it'll be funny. The last time the Blue Jays were playing a game, the Jets and Flames played. Now they're playing again. Is that a good omen? Does this mean Jets and Flames fans are going to come together and cheer for the Jays? I'm not too sure, but either way, it should be a fun one here tonight in Winnipeg. Hopefully the Flames can finally get some offense going. Just some lineup notes for you. So Kadri is totally good tonight in Winnipeg after missing practice yesterday, as per Ryan Huska. It was, a maintenance day. That's why he didn't practice. It's a 6 p.m. start. The pregame is on Sportsnet at 5. Sharky is back in the lineup after sitting for 2, and Kirkland will be the odd man out. We'll see how Flames fans react to that. And Dustin Wolf is in net, so once again getting yet another start, his 8th in 9 games, of course. Comrie is expected for Winnipeg, which a lot of people will say, hooray, Comrie's in, not Hellebuck. Comrie's also really good, and the Flames don't have a great offense, so that one should be interesting. The last little lineup note I do have for you is that the Flames have recalled Dryden Hunt from the Wranglers. This was released yesterday after I'd already made that video, but Hunt's a guy who, he comes up, a few times a year, does his thing, goes back down to the Wranglers. It's not like he makes that big of an impact. Don't think he'll be in the lineup tonight, but it's always fun having Hunt around. I know a few of the viewers of this channel really do like Dryden Hunt, so there you go. Maybe he'll be making an appearance in the next week or two here while we kind of just let things play. Now let's get into the comment of the day to wrap up this video, as we love to do here on the channel. Comes from yesterday's video, of course, and this was a good comment here from Bradley. He said, "Love how for years we had some decent offense and a bad goalie. Now we have a great goalie and no one giving us offense. When are we going to catch a break? It's the eternal cycle of the NHL. So many teams go through this, and it's funny that the Flames are doing this now, but it's so much more boring to watch when you don't have a good offense. It just makes for more boring hockey. So I understand why a lot of Flames fans right now are not tuning into the games, are not paying loads of money to go to the games either. But hopefully they can turn things around or completely tank, make some sort of trade to give this fan base something to cheer about at least. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to what you saw here today and have a wonderful rest of your day.